Hello, everybody. Okay, so here's the thing about this is that, I was watching this episode. It was like Winter Solstice 2. Or part 1, and then the next one was going to be part 2. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, got a little extra time. Okay, I'll just watch them back to back and treat it like one episode. But then I watched the two of them, and I don't know why they're called part 1 and part 2, because there's not any more of a connection in these episodes as there is in other episodes. Like, the only real connection is that, he has to go see Master Ruku or Avatar Ruku in the next episode, and the next episode he does that. Everything else is like every other episode, so apologies, this is actually 2 episodes put together, the Winter Solstice, hopefully I'm saying that right, part 1 and part 2, so, I know that puts none of you off, but nevertheless, that's what this is here. Okay, so I'll just refer to them as part 1, part 2 here. Part 1, you got Aang. He travels to this nation, or this land that's been burned down by the Fire Nation, or at least a good chunk of it has. And there's this black and white monster. Looks a lot like the Cloverfield monster, is the first thing that came to my mind when I saw it. That's just destroying this town here, this little neighborhood, and taking people, I guess, into the spirit world. I think that's where, yeah, I think that's where it takes it. It was a touch confusing. But we'll take a person at a time away each night and take them into the spirit world. And the Avatar comes, Aang comes, and they're like, oh, thank God, you will save us, Aang, right? And he sort of shrugs and goes, okay, not knowing at all what he's going to do or what this thing is or any of that stuff. So, alright, just a quick rundown of that episode, I guess real fast, I'll just do them in order. The two things I really like about this one is, again, we're seeing more of the responsibility of what Aang is going to have to go through, and is going through now. Again, we saw sort of in the past episode sort of the weight of him realizing who he is and what he has to do to account for who he is. And now we have him going into a situation where he literally has no idea what he's supposed to do. And what I like about this character and this setup in this show, which I think you could even argue this, not just for a kid show, but a lot of shows and movies do this, it drives me nuts, is that they're afraid to go into a predicament. They don't think they're strong enough. They don't think they're good enough. That's very understandable. What always happens? They run away. They say, no, I'm not good enough. The best friend comes, says, come on, get in there. You can do it. And, of course, just when things are looking really bad, they come in and try to fight them off. And, of course, they save the day. Not here. This is a character who doesn't think he's good enough or doesn't know if he's good enough. And they say, we need you to help us. And he begrudgingly says, okay. In fact, if anything, he knows that if he shows that he doesn't know what he's talking about, that'll be sort of a greater danger. And again, that really creates a nice character. It's not a cowardly character. And now, if they went the other route, that would have been, pretty human, but it's something we've seen a million times, and I like that it shows real strength in Aang. I like the fact that even though he has no idea how to fix it, he's gonna try and fix it, regardless. And that's a great trait. Again, that makes a great hero. The other thing I really like about this one is we get a little bit more of the uncle that Mako plays. And, well, first of all, this character goes around half this episode with practically no clothes, and I don't think that was necessary. He's in this hot tub that he makes for himself, and it's like these earthbenders come and take him prisoner, and it's like, they don't give him his clothes. What? Come on. He's got to go through this whole thing, like, you gotta look at his boobs the whole time. I'm like, dude. So, that was a little odd. I don't know why. I think even at the end, the prince character is like, put a shirt on! But regardless, what I like about that is, again, I like the prince. I think the prince is my favorite character. I think he's the most interesting and the most complex. He has a choice. Either he can go, either save his uncle or go after the Avatar. It isn't even the Avatar, it's the friends on the Flying Bison. But you know, and I like that. I like they're actually looking for Aang. You know, they're not just like, oh, we'll just wait here and see what happens. It's like, no, they're gonna go and try and find him. You know, again, they're very active, which I like. Or it's Katara, I think. I don't know. I forget. 2 episodes in a row. My mind's gonna be a little forgetful. So I like the fact that he goes after his uncle. Again, it shows good priority in your villain, and there's a lot of things you can like about this villain. And again, for a kid show to create a very honorable villain, I think that's wonderful. And they also build up this thing about the spirit world, which is something new we hadn't seen before. They build up a comet, and it's so about as big to be continued as anything else, but they know they have to go to the Fire Nation to go to this temple where Avatar Roku will appear. End of part 1. Part 2, they go to the temple. After going through some cool action sequences, they throw a bunch of you know, fireballs in the air, and the bison has to fly past them and everything. I will ask this: something I do get confused about? What are the limitations and the extents of these powers? Because I'm looking at this, like, I remember in the second episode, like, you got the prince and the uncle there, and they, you know, the bison's getting away, stop him, and they both use their firepower to shoot up this giant fireball, like, miles and miles into the air, yet here, bison's about the same height, and they're using catapults. Now, why can't they just, you know, they have a whole army now, not just 2 of them, why couldn't they... Stuff like that is a little weird, but again, that's really nitpicky. I know it's fantasy, I know it's like, you know, it's like, why, in Lord of the Rings, why they use the eagles for everything, why doesn't Gandalf always use that lightning power he had before to scare off the ring race, blah blah blah. You know what, it's a nitpick. I'm just wondering if it's explained later. Maybe it's not. Well, it kind of is in this episode, because we find out what the comet is. The comet is something that came 100 years ago, and the Fire Nation... Again, I don't quite understand this, but the Fire Nation somehow harnessed its power from the passing of that comet, and they became stronger. So, again, 100 years later, this comet is going to come, and if the Lord of the Fire Nation, the Prince's father, can actually harness the power again, it's going to be bad news. Nothing can stop, and the war will be over. Fire Nation will rule the earth. What are the Fire Nation's political beliefs? You know, maybe they could run a good government. We always assume they're just bad because they want to hostilely take everybody over. Okay, that sucks, but maybe they have good health care. We don't know. Being a dick. So, okay, so you got this episode where Aang goes to this temple where one of the past avatars is going to show up and tell him about this comet. That's what we find out at the end, and we sort of find this additional quest on top of going to the North Pole. And get to the temple, and there's these, you know, these Fire Nation warriors now who were supposed to be, like, sages looking after it, but I guess they got tired of waiting? Is that what that was? Again, it was a touch confusing, that years and years went by, the Avatar never came, and now they see the Avatar, and I guess they're just so pissed. It's like, no, we're Fire Nation now. I don't know, if I saw the Avatar after 100 years, or after so long waiting, I'd sort of say, fuck the Fire Nation, and go, okay, Avatar, I know the mumbo-jumbo it says, you're gonna save us and everything, I'm on your side. So one of them helps him out, and gets him inside the door. There's a really great scene, again, smart writing in this, where they're trying to open the door, but they need firebenders to open it. And Sokka gets this idea to put these little explosives in that he can put together. Tries them, it doesn't work. And they say, well, wait, it looks like it did work. So they hide, wait for the other 5 to come in. They say, he's inside, open it up! And then when they open it, they jump him from behind. Now, the only reason I bring that up is because what I thought they were going to do, I thought this would have been funnier, but not nearly as clever, is that they try opening it up, it doesn't, you know, and Aang tries to open it, he's like, it's not working, and I thought what they were going to do is Sokka was just going to say, I don't get it, it should work. I thought he was going to lean against the door. It turns out you just had to push instead of pull. I thought that might have been a little funny. But not nearly as clever. I thought when Katara was actually putting together, wait, it looks like it worked, that's much smarter. And I'm pissed I didn't think of that. That my idea was actually much stupider, but it would have been funnier. So, but regardless. So Aang goes in, the prince comes in, and then on top of that, that jerky general comes in. They're all gonna try and take the Avatar. I love scenes like that where just all the characters meet up in one place, and it's just gonna amount to a big explosion. That's pretty much what happens in this one. And what I realized too is, what I like about this show is what I remember I liked about Lost as well, is that because they're creating this world where they can make stuff up, they can make up powers, they can make up locations, they can make up creatures, they can just make it all up, you don't exactly know what everything is capable of. So, for example, at the end, Roku is talking to Aang, and Aang knows he has to get out of there, and he has no plan. There's no, there's tons of guards out there, he can't stop them. And the door opens up, and you see that they've actually combined, and now it's Roku with all his powers beating the shit out of everybody. Now, this could have been common knowledge, who knows? But in this world, we didn't know that. So when the door opens up and you see him there, that's a great holy shit moment, and it's great seeing him, wipe the floor with everybody, and the big explosion, and the tower falling, and the lava, and the bison coming in. It's wonderful. So I realize that's one of the big advantages about how much control you have over a world is how much you also reveal. And Lost knew just how much to reveal until the end, but that's something else. And I feel this show does too. It really knows just how much to reveal about a world, and just how much to show, and how much to keep quiet, and how much to sort of save and let it come later. And I'm trying to think. I think the only other thing I can really think about these two episodes, this one in particular, the part 2 was especially good. The ending of part 1 I thought was a little, it's good, but I was like, oh, it's just a sad little forest creature. God, look, acorns! And that he lets all the people go. Where even kind of were they? They were in the spirit world. They never talk about what it's like to be in the spirit world, or it was a panda too. How was a panda? Maybe it'll be explained. I shouldn't jump to conclusions because the show does, pick up on a lot of this stuff. But I thought maybe the ending could have been a little stronger. But what, 24 minutes, if even that, you got to squeeze in a lot. So I totally get it. But the ending of this one, of part 2, I really like. You felt like a lot happened in that one episode. A lot was accomplished. You have sort of this new information that's very threatening, and it's almost like a new quest, but you still have the old quest going on as well. And what I like is that with this intake of all this information, now there's this even greater responsibility and this inability to get the sources you need. He knows he's not going to have time to do whatever, learn the firebending and the waterbending. He's not going to have time at the end of the summer. He has to stop this. What I really like is that as they're flying off into the moon set, whatever it is, that they're flying off into the moon, all that information is laid on you. He hasn't told Sokka or Katara, and they're flying off and totally silent. They just go, they sort of put their hands on Aang, it's a faraway shot, they're sort of going into the moon, and there's just no dialogue. That's great. That's something, again, you don't even see in adult shows that much. They have to sort of sum up either what they've realized or what the next episode is going to be. And they don't do that here. And there's not even really a cliffhanger. It's just letting the information kind of sit with you. And from a distance as well. It would have been so easy just to go for a close-up on Aang, or seeing the brother and sister looking concerned at it, but it's all from far away. I thought that was really cool. I actually even rewound it just to say, did they say anything? Did they reveal anything else at the end, or restate what their new mission is? And they didn't. I thought it was a very mature choice. I thought that was a very cool thing to do. And yeah, I just really ate that up. So, again, 2 great episodes. Don't know why it was part 1 and part 2, but there you go. And just adding more and more stuff and keeping the right amount of stuff hidden until it's revealed. Hopefully it'll be a better reveal than Lost. But again, just having a great time with it, and can't wait to see the next one.